Hey guys, Gene Transtamar here, Boston real estate agent and investor. Alright, wonderful. It's been a couple days since the first video that I posted. I noticed a number of you have watched it. Do me a favor, make sure that you leave comments, questions, send me a message. It doesn't matter. If you're really trying to do this, I'm down to help you. It's real, it's legit, it works. I've done it before. I've done a number of them. So I'm going to explain it to you guys today in a little more detail about how I was able to do my first deal and the kind of money that I made on the deal. Okay, the first deal that I did was in Stoughton, Massachusetts. It was a 1,200 square foot house on probably like a 30,000 square foot lot, point three of an acre. You can do the math on that. So it was a decent house. At the time, if it were to sell on the market and it was in good shape, it probably would have sold for like 350. But in this case, the gentleman that approached me, I met at a networking event, told me he had a house in his family that actually his aunt owned, but he was her caretaker and he had power of attorney. She was not living in the house. She was in a nursing home, but the house was in disrepair and they owed 70,000 plus in back taxes. He had felt as though there was no way to save this house. I told him, in fact, there is a way. At the time, I really didn't know, but I knew that he shouldn't just give up that easy. So at any rate, I met with the town of Stoughton. I found out what was going on. They had revealed to me how much they owed in taxes because it's public information. I then went to the registry of deeds so I could look up if there were any liens. And then I also went to the town's website to see what other information there was on the home. So after finding that information, determining how much they owed in taxes and trying to determine how much they owed by way of liens, I calculated that a good offer would be the taxes, which were 70 plus 10 grand. So essentially $80,000 for this house. So after I came up with that price that I was going to offer this gentleman for the house, and you might be saying to yourself, oh, that's really low. Why would you give somebody, $84,000 for a home that could possibly be worth over 300? Well, here's the rationale. He was going to lose the house anyway and get nothing. So here I am paying off the taxes and then giving him 10 grand on top of the fact that the house was in disrepair. It was a good deal. So once I had determined what I was going to offer him, I went to an investor, and this is where I messed up. But this was the first deal. This is how it went down. I went to the investor and I told him, I'm going to get this house for $84,000. Here's where it is. Take a peek at it. If you like it, we can move forward. And if I were to get the home for $84,000, then my commission would be 30 grand. Okay, so on top of the 84, he would spend 34 grand, which would essentially be what, 20, let me see, 80, 20, 35, I don't know, like 115, 110. You can do the math. So he would essentially have a house, for between 115 and 120 grand, give or take. That's a good deal for a house that you can turn around and sell for 300 plus K. So he agreed to the deal. I signed it, he signed it. I made the offer to the guy, he accepted it. And we then moved forward with a lawyer and we started to process the closing. But what we then found out was that there was an additional lien attached to the home. So that's one thing you need to be mindful of. If you're going to make an agreement with another investor, you need to know exactly how much you owe. So the person that you're working with who's selling the home, make sure that they get a lawyer, or make sure that you attach yourself to a title search company so you can find out what liens are attached to the home, so you know just how much you're going to be selling the home for. Okay, so at any rate, found out there was a lien for Mass Health. Mass Health required us to go get an appraisal. I found someone to do the appraisal. They appraised the home for about 110, and then we gave the guy an extra 5 because of his family situation. Instead of making $30,000 on the deal, I ended up making $10,000 on the deal that was paid to me by the investor, who then turned around, flipped the house to somebody else for an extra 15 to 20,000, who then sold it to another person who I put hundreds of $1,000s into it, so that he could sell it. So that house exchanged hands 2 more times after me. So there's money to be made. That was my first deal. I kind of messed up, but I didn't spend any money. And if you do spend money, you can get reimbursed. So keep that in mind. But I didn't spend any money, and I made 10 grand. Please don't ask me for any money. Leave some comments, ask questions. I'll help you out. I'll show you how to get the money.